Hello, hello, hello. Oh, is our mic on?
Yeah.
Yes. Ha ha ha. Oh.
Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole here on Beyond Mystic. You have Crystal and
ASHALA.
ASHALA. Happy Thursday, everyone. We are excited to be here. Have some topics already that we're thinking about chatting about. And before we get started, as you can see, we are down the rabbit hole coming at you together. And we wanted to just mention that before we get going too far. Oh, I messed it up. Never mind.
Here,
To be continued.
I'll do it.
We'll come back.
Go
with
ahead
that.
and talk.
We'll come back with that. How is everybody doing? How has your week been? Pretty powerful full moon that we just had happen. And I know we definitely have been feeling the energies of that and some pretty big times here in our lives, that's for sure. And we just wanted to touch in on the customer feedback survey, tuning in with all of you, our Beyond Mystic community. Our mission still remains that we are here to guide you towards clarity, to strengthen your inner compass, and to help you navigate the noisy world and the stormy seas of life with truth and empowerment. So, your voice matters. And we would love to have you head on to Beyond Mystic and check out the feedback form. It is a 3-minute survey, and we want to hear more about what you want to hear about. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not a lot of sleep, Murdoch. Totally. We've been feeling that too. Very mixed bag on that one. So
we have some other things to share too, right,
all right,
Crystal?
let's do it.
We've been burning the candle at both ends for way too long. We're both a little bit punch drunk, I think, at this point.
They know it.
Yeah. So as subscribe to the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. You can book consultations with Crystal and I both over here on the Beyond Mystic consultations page. And while Crystal's chatting with you and maybe pulling up the first question, I'm going to go in and put our banner across the bottom where you can get your 10% discount. Because I think we have a different banner. We had a hard time getting on here.
You got it.
We had some tech trouble getting on here, so that's why we're a little discombobulated, but we're here and we're ready to do a deep dive.
Hello. Yeah, we're feeling that rainy blues right now.
We've had over a week of pretty much solid rain. It was a little nicer yesterday. No, not yesterday, this morning. Oh my gosh, it feels like forever ago already.
So true. So true.
So I want to bring up a question that we had on our YouTube channel earlier this week, and both Crystal and I were quite shocked with the results that came through doing a reading on the effects of daylight savings. We were like, what? Like that kind of a response from the tarot was really unusual. It was really, there were some very heavy cards. And so we want to bring that back up on this platform, get some perspective, and see if there's any other way, like any other news we can draw in. First of all, about where this phenomena originated. Like, obviously, we know that it might have some intended benefit, but as many things, they were sold to us as this benefit, but the underlying purpose for whatever this miracle cure of changing the clocks actually was designed to disrupt us. And when we looked into it, we were astounded at just how damaging it is to us. Like,
astounded.
I was.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. No, you bet. Me too.
So we're going to look at, first of all, where did it come from? And secondly, how do we dismantle this? Like, we keep hearing that it's going to go away. How do we push back? Because I think probably people don't know just how dangerous it is. And so they go, oh, whatever. It's just something that our government does. Not just something, it's funny. All you people are saying, I'm exhausted, not much sleep. This is part of the issue when we see what happens at these change of seasons, right? Fall and spring. If you look at, Chinese medicine, for example, they say that the spring and the fall are the times of year where our body has to reset its whole system. And our circadian rhythms are already really struggling because of the time shift and the light shift and everything. And then you throw on actually changing the clock without changing the time zone we're in. Like, we haven't moved on Earth. So what I was being shown when we pulled some cards on this the other day is that when you actually move to a different location on the planet, your soul resets with the sky. Like, you reset according to where you are, almost as though you had some big sort of satellite from your crown chakra. And when you haven't moved to a different place on the planet, but you change the rhythm of your day and move the clock, it really messes with your circadian rhythm. And every organ in the body has to go through a change through every 2 hours. The organ systems go through their cleansing and their upgrading and so on. And if that's thrown off by an hour, basically we're getting half as much of that benefit until our bodies adjust. And what I was being shown in the cards is it can take weeks for our bodies to recalibrate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, sometimes, as Bramlaw says here, I drove the school bus, so I'm glad the time changed. And it's an interesting one, because if we didn't have the time change back and forth, I don't actually think you would feel it that much, to be honest with you. We were saying earlier in the week that I lived up in Fort St. John in British Columbia, where the time didn't change, and it was so nice to not ever have to go the up and down, the back and forth. And yeah, we had dark periods of the year, but we were going to have dark periods of the year anyhow.
Anyway, yeah.
Like, it was the natural rhythm of time and the year. So Suzanne says here, I personally believe the change of seasons has to do with the missing 13th month, where we had 28 days in a month and our cycles were in balance. Yeah, it's like icing on the cake.
It is icing on the cake. The cake of everything is disrupted in our sense of time and space, because this is how we know who we are and what we are. We are in body, we are in situ, in location. It's how we navigate spiritually. We're sort of on this, you could see it almost like a toroidal, and we are in this moment. What is it? Nassim Haramim used to call it the event horizon. We are in this moment, which is delicately poised between time and space. And anything that intentionally messes, I felt like using a big bad swear word then, just so you know, I was thinking it. Anything that what's with it is
we're not allowed to use big bad swear words.
I don't know.
It's not an ASHALA thing.
It's not really my style, but it's going on inside my head. I'm telling you that. Basically, anything that disrupts that, like intentionally messes with that, it's like telling your full knowing, authentic soul it's wrong. You're not in this moment in time and space. You're in this moment. And, like Suzanne is saying, the calendar has 12 months, not 13. It's like, actually, no, when you go through a year from, the 365 days it takes to get through the full year, there's 28 day cycles, 13 of them. It's not 12. There's not 12 cycles of 30 or 31 or 28 or whatever, and I think that it was shocking to me when I looked at the cards, because as you all know, we look at cards about a lot of stuff, right? It was shocking stuff, like big, heavy stuff that's going on in the world. And I was thinking, oh yeah, time change. Yeah, it's unfortunate and it's probably not good for us. The cards were really bad. So
Let's do it
let's
again.
do it again and see what is being shown today and how much this affects us and how do we change this? Can we change this right now? Like, can we demand that this stops and that we reset the calendars? And maybe it's a big thing to take on that will fix a lot of the problems, is what I'm hearing. Wow, the cards are flying. Wouldn't it be incredible if we could just sort of pop through a portal by getting rid of that old calendar and getting rid of daylight savings?
The seventh pillar. Only a white man would think that cutting the bottom of a blanket and attaching it to the top would make it a longer blanket. Native American wisdom.
I've seen that before.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, they're making a joke of it, but it's only a joke if you don't have to live the consequences of that joke.
Yeah.
Like if you have to get up and go to work and do things in the world and you have to tell your body, no, it isn't this time. Now it's this time.
I think it may have to do more with the idea of productivity in the workforce more than more light during the workday.
That is what they told us. That's what it was. That's what it was touted as. And I do believe there were people that thought that was a really good, just reason. And I resonate with the logistics of that, but that is ignoring the metaphysics. And that's part of the challenge with living in a materialist, only science-based, only science-based culture, where we've basically dismissed the relevance of mysticism and spiritual science. We're saying, oh no, it's only physical science. Like, we want productivity. We're going to just mess with time.
This is an interesting point too. That would be awful if we had only 1 hour of daylight before bedtime after school. I kind of feel like school needs a adjustment as well, to be honest with you. That's another deep dive because
let's do it.
Yeah,
why not throw it in? Let's throw that in now.
I'm gonna just star that one and take it to the, like, let's put that on the next level of to look at after we look at the basics of what we're dealing with here.
Thanks, Crystal. Go for it. Let's see what. Oh yeah, right.
Messing.
We're already showing.
Okay. Let me
Holy.
get her down there. 2 sevens. Okay, interesting.
3 sevens.
3 sevens.
3 sevens. 3 of a kind. Spiritual science. The science of spirituality. So here's an experiment. If we start to take back, how do we push back on this? Like, this was my question. Where did it come from? Okay, I'm feeling this has been done before in history. About 2,000 years ago, I'm feeling the Romans did it. It was done before. Isn't our calendar is the Julian calendar? It's a Roman system of 12. It all goes with Saturnalia and their festivals of the sun. And so they did this, they started it 2,000 years ago.
Look at that, right? I think the time changed is to try to hide the sun comes up a couple minutes later every year because they changed the calendar, right? Something happened with the calendars.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we had the first real intentional manipulation 2,000 years ago with the Roman Empire.
Studies show that this change 2 times a year could cause a lot of heart problems.
Right. And good point, Suzanne. And I also saw studies that said that there's increase in automobile accidents and fatalities, workplace accidents. So it literally is like we are telling our system it's wrong, but our system is telling us, no, this is wrong. And there's nothing, I have to say, like I said, I was so shocked to see how bad the cards were. It was kind of like it was saying, this is the next big thing that you all have to focus on, getting this to change, because changing this back to normalizing is actually the beginning of taking our real sovereign power
Sovereignty back. Yeah.
It's not just about getting the government, the white hats into the right government positions, or transferring to new economics and all this like new earth ascension and everything. We're not ascending in this calendar system and in this time system. It's the thing that needs to go. It's the next thing that needs to be addressed.
And it feels as though probably over like the next 7 years that there's going to be a lot more awareness coming up around this, a lot more talk, and that we're going to have to kind of hang in there. But and also maybe that we're going to have other parts of the world that may be sort of leading the way as well in bringing different time realities to the forefront. So I wonder, thoughts, Mom?
Yeah, that is lovely. And it's almost, I'm getting a bit like a split. We may, within even by the next round, we could have half of the population that are like
How do you
rally
do that,
saying,
though?
I'm not
How
going.
do you do that?
You just say, I'm not going, okay, say to your boss, I'm not coming to work at that time. I'm coming at this time because I'm not going along with this. I'm not playing this time warp game anymore. It's a time warp. And you want to warp humanity's consciousness, put them in a time warp.
Well, then you have to choose which of the times you roll with.
You roll with, that's a good one, Crystal. Which one do you roll with? Where do we start this? How do we, okay, pull some more cards and see how we reset properly.
Well, why don't we look at the two different times and which is the healthier zone to go with?
Okay.
How about thoughts? Or do you want to
well, okay, spring ahead, fall back. Curious. Yeah, let's look at the spring time zone or the fall one. And then is it the other way around in the Southern Hemisphere? Is anyone here from the Southern Hemisphere? Can you tell us
it might be a bit late for Southern Hemisphere, right?
No, this is
early.
Actually, it's a bit early for that. Yeah.
Keeners. Is anybody keen?
We
and
have
on with
had
us?
a couple of people on here before, I think.
Daylight savings time. Yeah. Okay.
So do you have that in the Southern Hemisphere? Yeah, there's always talk about doing away with it. Again. Watch collectors would love the idea.
What does Grandma say? This is like talking about ostriches.
Oh, this is like talking about Canadian ostriches instead of picking up dead people in Jamaica. Okay, well, let's see what you're saying, Bamlo. Okay, I don't know what you're referring to. Maybe give us some more clarification. Obviously, I know that you're
if you want to make it
to,
into a question, we're really happy to answer the question. We're also here, we're going to be answering questions in the show as well. We just came in with that one because it was an interesting one to look at. So make it a question.
Yeah,
we want to answer it.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, let's look at which one is going to be more ideal to go with.
Yeah, I lived in no time change in South America. Based on what you're saying, it's probably designed to prevent humans from ascending. It could be. And again, like I said, this was a bit surprising to me. I wasn't expecting it to be that serious of a thing. And it's really given me cause to contemplate. And as soon as I saw that it was looking like it was that serious, I immediately got a lot of downloads about how it disrupts us and how it needs to be changed. Mhm.
All right, let's have a look. Daylight savings or what is the other one?
So spring or fall?
Okay,
Yeah. Or is it somewhere in the middle, maybe? Who
spring,
knows?
fall, middle,
Yeah,
right?
let's see that.
Okay, spring.
Okay, and the fall one? Oh, definitely the springtime, whatever that is. So it's when we go ahead. So this is the more disruptive one. It's when we go back, when we fall back is when it really, because it's the spring one is the correct one, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Interesting there, hey, with the Six of Cups. Like it's what part of that would it be messing with?
Well, it's almost like what I'm getting is that animals and children like are naturally like they don't catch up. You know, we force ourselves, right? Because we have jobs and responsibilities and deadlines and things like that. But pets and children don't change very quickly. Like they still will, and we let them do it because we're like, well, it's mean to them to suddenly tell them they have to go to bed like an hour earlier or an hour later or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, and then if we look in the middle here,
mhm.
bum, 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 bum.
So the half hour. Okay, so look at this. This is all to do with the feminine and fertility. So I think this is what you're actually coming up against now is the changing the calendar as well. So the going to the 13 month,
13 months.
right? There's the 13th
Totally.
card.
Yeah.
And losing that whole month is part of the problem as well.
Great.
So let's
get on it,
focus
people.
on and maybe pull a couple more cards on how do we push back.
Yeah. How do we bring this in here? Cool. I mean, interesting what you said about, you know, changing, adjusting your work schedule. I tend to even like to adjust my work schedule from summer to winter as well.
And that gets into the education piece.
That gets into the education piece also. And it seems like, remember how I was saying 7 years for this to really have an effect? Yeah, it's like we're working on it over the next 7 to 8 years here of establishing our own foundation of what works the most ideal for our lifestyles and starting to integrate practices for ourselves, and noticing our body's natural cycles and noticing when things don't feel right and when things do, and then beginning to build on that, which is so lovely that we're diving into it now.
Yeah, seventh pillar is saying if we're used to natural rhythms, the hours would not be uniform. True noon is 13:08 here at present according to the clock, but true noon also changes with the seasons. So yeah, I think we're looking into going down the rabbit hole into the whole frequency of time and working with time and messing with time. It's maybe a lot more of a big deal than we realize. And those that mess with time distort reality to the point where they can create an artificial, you know, eighth sphere that is like the Matrix, that it's easier to fool people when you've got them in a distorted time frequency, basically, is what I'm being shown.
Time bending for sure. So if we're looking at education, what's going to be a good one for us to ask about that?
Well, I guess we could look at it. How does it affect our children? I used to feel this so much. I'd be like, what are they doing putting children in school during these hours where it just doesn't make sense the way it's all designed, that they have to get up early in the middle of winter and go to school at the same hour that they go to school, in the spring and fall when it's light, especially up here in Canada. It's just ridiculous. You got children going to school in the dark. Why is that happening? Why are people going to work in the dark? Just because we want this productive work week, and the schools are like a babysitting service, basically. So get me fierce and riled up about
Agreed.
all of this.
Agreed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ramlaw's talking about Jamaica again. Well, the last one there, you can pop that. No?
Mm-hmm.
What did they say?
A Jamaican was wondering why we were talking about your Canadian ostriches. She was more worried about the dead people that are laying around her than possibly dead ostriches. And I mean, I can speak to that a little bit. It's not that, certainly ostriches are more important than people, not in any way, shape, or form suggesting that. But what is important to human survival is farmers being able to produce food and not be restricted to the point where they have very little rights. And it's like anything else. You start dismantling rights on this side, and before you know it, it's not just these farmers, it's all farmers. All farmers are up in arms about the overreach of the system. And we're looking at changing food supply, basically. So it is a matter of life and death down the road. It's not an immediate matter of life and death, but left unchecked, it's kind of like crisis management versus preventative management. Preventative management is also really important. And if you leave these things and let them sneak through, they set a precedence. Okay, now the precedence is any questionable activity in a herd of livestock can now result in the farmer having no rights, no recourse, and the state coming in and slaughtering livestock. So that is a big concern around the long-term rights of food producers, which is very significant, I feel.
Yep.
And not
Good.
in any way
Agreed.
can you compare that. Obviously, if in Canada we had the situation that has just happened in Jamaica, we would probably not be focusing on ostriches. And it isn't about not sending so much of our prayers, our intentions, our financial support, our allegiance to the Jamaican communities to support them in rebuilding. I already was saying that I see that whole region being part of, a new earth paradise, and something happened, that something needed to be cleared that had nothing to do with the karma of those individual people there. It's a larger karma of the whole area. And those people played a powerful role in bringing awareness to the need for a reset of that region. And you can't compare those things. So I'm not trying to say that, time change or ostriches or one thing is more important than the other. What we're doing here is saying, if we drop everything only for crisis, or if we drop crisis and focus on put our heads in the sand like ostriches, either of those poles are not healthy. We have to stay collectively looking at all of it. Yeah, the corruption of the Canadian justice system. Yeah. Absolutely. It's bringing awareness to that. So, this could be part of the drama, right? It could be part of the movie where it's bringing people's attention to that corruption. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Truth. Hide. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Should we pull anything on the schools? Do you want to jump into a question?
3 cards on the schools.
Okay.
What do we need to know about changing the school system, period? Oh my gosh.
Same 3.
Same 3. And you shuffled all that time and
Shuffled and you shuffled.
What do you get?
I get that. Well, that's exactly like fall back, right? Time. Those are those 3 that were on that. So it has something to do with
And that's when they go back to school. So it's woven in with the time change that it's going to actually be part of disrupting their circadian rhythm so that they're more easily programmed.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Bamlo, what I'm saying is that we should reconsider what the season's effect is on the times that we expect people to be getting up and going to bed. Like our natural ancestors would have always worked with the seasons, you know, rise with the sun, go to sleep when the sun goes down, or get ready to wind down when the sun goes down. Now that we have all this artificial light, we can again disrupt time, disrupt the natural circadian rhythm. We're doing ourselves a huge disservice. So I'm not suggesting, I don't have the full answer to this, but what I am saying is let's get curious about this, and it matters. It does really matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's pop into one of Suzanne's questions here.
Great.
What do we got? Is Trump related to Mary Stuart, Queen of Scots? On a whole new
Okay.
level.
Okay, let's do it.
Way out of left field to where we've been. I love it. And always trust Suzanne to have.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Oh, she's got a secondary to that. What does this flame dragon lineage mean to the new world? All right, we're bumping it up here. Da-da-da-da.
Mary, Queen of Scots, the flame dragon lineage, and the new world. Thank you.
Interesting.
Pick one.
Picked it.
Pick a pile, any pile.
Pick a pile, any pile. Let's roll it out. Okay. Focus?
Yes.
All right.
Good.
Focus.
Crystal's asking, should we do a focus spread, which is basically going right to the heart of something? So the answer is yes. We've got the yes card.
The answer is yes.
What do we need to know about this? Wow. Holy.
Looks pretty dang good. Interesting.
That is very interesting. So we've got
a lineage
Trump
card too.
You know, we have a lineage card, the 10 of Pentacles. We have Trump showing up as almost like a bit like a foot soldier there. You know, like he's got a job to do. He's doing kind of frontline foot soldier work. There is a long plan here. I'm getting, okay, might be way out.
That's what we're here
down
for.
The rabbit hole, folks.
That's what we're here for. Way out.
But I'm getting that this is a 7 to 10,000 year plan. So we're 7,000 years into a 10,000 year cycle. They know, you see, the ancient ones that still have knowledge of the long calendar cycles, we're talking about time again. We're talking about flame dragon bloodlines, timekeepers that knew where we are in the long calendar. which is the big, big, big cycles of time that go into 100 million years, those kind of cycles. So 10,000 years is like a blink of an eye. It's nothing. And these are long standing cycles. So the this shift going out of the dark age. So we look at the last two yugas. This is very much related to, again, the Vedic system. It's not that I'm some big proponent of the Vedic system. I'm sure it's got all kinds of, disruptions and flaws in it, that parts of it have been compromised, just like all the other systems. But it does have aspects of truth related to this long count. I mean, the Mayan long count calendar systems, precession of the equinoxes, there's many different groups around the world that kept this knowledge, and 10,000 years is really nothing. It's only the beginning or the middle of the last yuga before we went into the Kali yuga, and it takes us halfway through the next one. So it's a transition point. This is a transition point, and these people from this lineage have been tasked to make sure that we get through this gateway without going down the drain. Because so much dark energy has been stirred up in the last several thousand years, especially the last two. So, yes, and it's interesting, just Mary Queen of Scots, how much of these lineages in medieval Europe where they were completely at odds with each other. They were supposed to be related, but how is it that they were all basically attacking and killing each other and having huge wars, with brothers and sisters and cousins? They were all at each other's throats all the time, literally cutting each other's heads off. Like it's clearly we had warring factions, and I do get the yes that he is, and he's part of the foot soldiers that are here to help make sure we get through this particular time.
You nailed that. That's
All interbred. 53 is their number. Oh, I don't know what people are talking about. The 53.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Indeed, the Vedic system holds the closest to our real truth as we get in the current history. Well, I think it has some real strong truths in it. I don't think it's all accurate. Again, it's not me knowing the right answer. That's me sensing. Like, I don't believe there's virtually any system on the planet right now that hasn't been compromised to some extent.
Agreed.
So what do you feel about how this moves us forward, and can we pull some cards on what is this dragon flame bloodline going to do at this point? Oh my gosh, right?
Oh, it's gonna break the chains. Yeah, it's gonna break the chains. We're gonna come into asking about the new world, right? It's the new world is people that are based in their hearts and their emotions, and we are not chained to the old dogmas, the old programming as much. It's definitely stepping in the direction that we want to see. Thoughts? Yeah. Definitely stepping the direction that we want to see. And Mom says that we're 7,000 years into the 10,000 years of this reality, and that could quite possibly be true. We've got another 10 here. So we're actually coming to the end of this cycle, and it sounds like he's going to be quite a catalyst in that. And we can see already that he's a catalyst in so much, right? So
Yeah. Beautiful.
what are you seeing there?
I'm just looking and not sure where to go next. Let's go to start and see if there's any other questions.
There is indeed. Because
Okay.
I'm on it. Let's see here.
Oh, we're hearing a lot. How do we say the name?
Gropey 56.
Okay. We're hearing a lot about what's happening in Norway and Denmark and
Whoa.
Holland. And
We are
thank
with
you for
on
holding it
that.
down
Oh my gosh.
in those regions. It's
Full
I
infiltration
mean,
happening. It's
yeah,
craziness.
we have clients in those places, like people that come to us for readings and sessions, and we're hearing inside scoop about some of this challenging things. And a lot of it reminds us of what's happening in Canada too. Like it's unfortunate to think that
We have our own ways of it happening, you know, and in many countries for sure, but it is definitely some big rollouts by some big players that keep happening there, and it is crazy. We feel for you. Thank you for holding it down.
First one, Crystal.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was feeling.
Did you shuffle?
No, it's fine. Go for it.
No, because I was talking. I wasn't even.
No. It's good. I felt you were.
Okay.
It's right. It is what it needs to be.
Now, part of this show is that we wanted you to come down the rabbit hole with us, which was giving you a bit more of a sneak peek of us just being us together, you know? So you get a little bit of us just being us and now going back and forth with the cards and okay. Chemtrails. I got the exact same cards.
Okay.
I told you we needed to.
No. You put it back. Here's the. I'm trumping her with my my years of tarot wisdom. You've been shuffling like crazy.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you did.
Know.
You did great.
Okay.
So the chemtrails. So interesting that we're talking about things like, you know, the time zones, because I'm seeing there's something here also about doing away with daylight savings. The time zones would expose the local sun and why time zones don't match the sun cycle. Yes. And I'm going to get back to Lupo's question here.
No, down at the bottom.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, just right there. Just
there?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not Lupo's, sorry.
No.
There is something going on here because talking about exposing the sun and then blocking out the sun, it's all about stopping us from having our relationship to the solar and stellar bodies. All the stellar bodies are solar bodies. Yes, they're all, it's sort of like the family, like our sun is one of many, many millions of cousins. They're all related. It's the family, the solar family. So when we go out at night and we're under the star canopy, we're in the solar family lineage. We are in, that's why all the ancients used to say, those are my ancestors. And we say, I'm from that nation or that nation. It's time and space association. It's like other dimensional distances away. Like, for example, it takes, they say now, so long, so many light years to get from this point to that point. That is time and space. So we are always aligning ourselves through our connection to the sun and the stars in time and space. So when you block the sun, change the time zones, change the calendars, disrupt our circadian rhythms all the time, we can't connect with our true origins. We are not our true selves. We are a fraction of who we are. We're like limited by the haze. So it's not just damaging to our food and water, our lungs and our health. It's the blocking. I'm just keep hearing it's cutting us off
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
natural relationship to the sun.
To the elements in general. Yes.
So I feel as though it is these two things, because if you've been following me on my YouTube channel, I've been saying for the last 3 to 5 years, like, I mean, chemtrails, I was talking about them, wasn't I? 25 years ago. I
100%.
was on a bandwagon about
Yep.
them forever ago. And I think they are a major thing that needs to be addressed. And I think this time distortion is another one. And that's just my humble opinion, but let's
Let's see there, because it's not looking so hot.
let's tackle this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's going to take a big force to really stop it, to really take it down. And we all have to be learning um from the places that have managed to
Mhm.
do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, from the states that have managed to do that. And Norway is a whole different ball game, right? So
Mhm.
how can you support yourself through, how can the people in these regions support themselves through that? Let's look at this.
Mhm.
Whoa. Go elsewhere.
Maybe. Like this to me, this devil card underneath is saying that we have to prioritize it pretty high on the list. We have to say and again, I think expanding into the realization that it isn't just about chemical effects on our land and our food and our water, and our air, which is enough in itself, right? But I think if we actually see that the larger purpose is about cutting us from our place, and why would it be important at this specific juncture in time to cut us from our orientation? So it's almost like they're saying, when you're navigating and getting close to your destination, that would be, let's say you didn't want that that group to finally make it to their destination. You'd really, as they were getting close, you'd throw everything at their navigational system so they couldn't navigate. That's what they're doing. They're trying to make it so we can't navigate. This is shut off. So how do we make that? How do we open that? What do you see, Crystal? How do we open the clouds?
I sense that we it's a big thing, but we have to start small. We have to start locally. We have to start by getting people curious, continuing to get more people on board. Like I think about when you talk about that why would they cut us off like that at this particular time? And then you think, well, actually they've been cutting us off for a long time. It's just been that slow integration of more and more
The
and more,
pot of
so that
water, boiling water with the
yeah,
frog,
so that
right?
people don't see
Mm-hmm.
that it's rolling in, right? And so it's like
Mm-hmm.
we have to start small. And it's really, I'm seeing here, this is an interesting one too. Let me navigate what this means. We've got all these clouds of smog around this bubble
Mm-hmm.
of clear skies
Yes.
here.
Yes.
So it's almost like, I know actually that I was watching along the way Curtis Stone, and I've got to look it up again, but along the way he had said that he developed like a sky spray that he would put above his plants and above his property that stopped and counteracted the sprays. So there's ways, there is people out there that are starting this journey. And so if we that are jumping on this and fighting back, so if we learn the ways and create our each of us having our own ecosystems, and intending that this is not going to affect us in the way that they want it to, let's override the cutoff, because we're more powerful than that.
So what I'm hearing you say, Crystal, is that we can, with our consciousness and our intention, we can start to literally like clear spaces. We can make clear spaces, and that there may be some technologies. Can we look at technologies that can help us? I remember years ago, probably dozen, maybe, probably about a dozen. It was right around 2012, 2013. There was an intentional community in Canada that I was visiting, and they actually had this, it looked like a lightning rod or something. And they said that it actually would clear chemtrails from the sky right above where they were. And I'm just wondering, is there such a thing? Is there technologies like this um, that are successful?
So I asked about technologies. I asked about logistical pushback. So us getting bills passed or like bringing people into appointing people to fight for it to be banned. So both of those do look good. Um, and then, coming at it from not allowing it, like not allowing this to affect us by using our own consciousness. Yep. So we have ways forward. We have ways through. And this is, you know, this guy here, he's pretty interesting to me because he seems like he's almighty and powerful, stuck there on his throne, but I kind of think he's stuck there.
Yeah, and his throne is getting smaller and smaller, right?
Yeah,
His
he's just like
power is diminishing,
he's
and
just like perched up on this thing, and he's
yeah.
just like he makes them think that that we're chained, but his power is fast fading away, right? And so yeah, that is a potential future outcome. I think he's going to be, also somewhat easy to knock off that throne when we really start somewhere.
Yeah, and it's
Keep talking about
you
it.
know, when we use, so the tactics of the military industrial complex is like you attack, it's offensive, right? It's literally like direct hit attack. Um, so I guess in answer to that question, we're not seeing a change soon, but we are seeing a pushback, imminent pushback starting now, and the need to keep revving that engine. And how we do it is what I'm just about to say, which is we don't go about it in that direct line attack offensive. We go about it in what looks like we're being defensive, right? It looks like we're like, oh, don't pour that stuff on me. I'll put my lightning rod up there and make it go away. It's like, or I'll put my chemtrail spray, or we'll get together and we'll have a forum in our local community and we'll put up, all of that seems so hokey and not effective against the big industrial complex, but it's like death by a thousand cuts. If so many people get into the groove of
Yeah.
it's going to become trendy. Like people will be talking about how do we get rid of this stuff in the sky?
And it's that power in us that they're trying to mitigate through these weapons anyhow,
Exactly.
right? So,
Exactly.
pardon me, I interrupted you
No,
there.
you're right. You're absolutely right.
Sometimes a girl's gotta.
And I feel that that there's people are having these conversations. Common, everyday, normal, mainstream people are wanting to feel empowered in these little ways, right? Like we see health consciousness is taking off, coming into more self-empowerment, waking up spiritually. All of those things are happening more and more frequently in the mainstream reality, in the consensus reality all over the world. And so what you want to do is insert the curiosity so that that theme starts to take over. It becomes trendy. Everyone's talking
Yes.
about chemtrails.
Yes.
Is what you could say, well, how's that going to stop them? Because eventually people are going to go down the rabbit hole far enough that they're going to go, why are we letting this happen? I don't just want to like use this technology. I don't want to buy something online and use it. I want to stop them from doing this in the first place. You get enough people curious about it, talking about it. That's how we're going to fight back. The 2 little pages up here.
Yep. Yep. There's a great channel on Telegram, Vinegar Blue Sky, that's all about clearing chemtrails by steaming vinegar. That was it. It was vinegar. You're right on it, right on it. So thank you for bringing that forward. I'm grateful to. I did go on one of his shows and ask, and then somebody said, I believe he was talking about the vinegar. So here we go. Love it.
Yeah. Yes. And it seems hokey and silly, and that's your best offense is in the defense. You know, you can have one offense, right? That's coming at us. But if we all go into creative defense mode, it's not easy to like keep us in their line of fire. We've dispersed. And while we're dispersing, we're talking and getting curious about things. There's so many, you know, I've been awakened on this spiritual path for 40 plus years. When I first was doing this, nobody was talking about anything. And I can tell you it's commonplace. So many things that I've witnessed coming into the mainstream collective consciousness blowing my mind. The fact that you're all here on a big platform like this, talking about these things, that I get to talk about this and not get like laughed out of the well, I might be getting laughed
You
at.
might get laughed at because you're funny.
But you know, I never would have dreamed that 25 years ago that we would be here. This is how it changes.
Bit by bit.
I tell that story about my friend who's a dentist. Well, he's retired now, but he was one of the first back in the 80s, the early 80s, that was taking the mercury amalgams out of people's mouths. And he went to a dental conference somewhere down in the States and got beaten up by some dentists in the hallway. Yeah, he got attacked and beaten because he was talking about something that was going against the main narrative, and they were mad. And, you know, he said he lived to, not only did he survive the beating, but he lived to see the industry change. And how did that happen? It was just a bunch of wacky new agey people that were like, you should get your mercury removed. It's bad for it destroys your pineal gland. And everyone's chuckling and going, how silly is that? Those weird old conspiracy theorists. But you know what? You make it trendy, and next thing you know, everybody's talking about it. Did you know mercury's bad? I mean, how hard is it to know that mercury's bad for the bloodstream? I don't know. It's not rocket science to me, but that is how change happens. It starts on the fringe, and then it becomes cool and trendy, and then we are a force of reckoning because they can't stop a trend that's caught on. And I think we're going to make this chemtrail thing, everyone look up.
Yep. I talk to people about it all the time. Well, thank you. Celestial Gina, here is the link. Please go ahead in the chats and check that out. We will also have a look at that. I'm going to star that. Starring it. I talk to my clients about that all the time too, because I have a lot of women that come in and they're really concerned about their hormones, their hair loss, their stress, and all of that. And I always say, you know, they're like, what do you think that that's about? Or I'm always like, what do you think that's about? And they tell me these reasons, and I'm like, well, they are also spraying a lot of crazy stuff on us in the skies, and what we're dealing with is a huge amount of heavy metal toxicity because of it, which then feeds our parasites, which we're dealing with from all of these other realities that we're dealing with. And you know, put a little glyphosates on the pile and you're swimming in it, right? So it's educating these people bit by bit where you can relate it directly to something that is going on with them, where you go, actually, I may have a reason for that. And not only do I have a reason, but I may have a solution as well. And if you're not going to be able to speak solutions, it's pretty hard to try to beat your information into people.
Yeah. Oh,
A
looks
little
like
bit
there's
about
something
that.
else here. How to build a cloud buster from the original builder. Aha.
Star
Thank
it,
you
star
for that.
it, star it.
Okay, start.
Okay, done.
Done. And I want to speak about that. The cool thing, right? It's cool to be a weirdo. It's cool to be a truther or a, conspiracy theorist. And it reminds me of Crystal when you started high school, and Crystal was really scared and nervous when she went to leave this little
And also a total weirdo.
yeah, this little alternative homeschooling type of school that she'd been in up until she was like, what, you were
Waldorf. I went to
14.
Waldorf.
Yeah, you were like
Yeah.
14. So she was going to go into high school, and she was like, her and her other friend that were going to this big high school were just so worried. They were, it was a few nights before their first day at high school, and they were both just besides themselves. And they were like, we're just going to be the weirdos, and no one's going to talk to us, and we're going to have to be sitting in the corner. And I said, well, think about it. You guys have had these kind of parents, these totally alternative parents. You know all this cool stuff. You get to wear all these kind of cool clothes because your parents are cool. You are amazing artists because you went to a school that promoted art. You are all that, you can talk about all these subjects, all these things. And they were like, that's not cool. That's not cool. That's not cool. And I said, well, try it out. I said, instead of going there and going, oh, no one's listening and they're going to hate us, go in there and be all that. Be like, yeah, I know a thing or two about a thing or two, and I don't need your opinion. I'm good with me. So they tried it on, and they came back to me a few days later and they were like, it worked. It worked. Everybody thinks we're so cool. Do you remember that?
Of course, I remember that. Okay, to be fair,
You were cool.
I was cool. And also people thought I was weird. Definitely. But
And you were weird.
I still am weird. However, I mean, I really went for it. Like I really went for it. And I was prided myself on being very unique and very different. And I come from very unique um s- bloodlines, strain of human. And
Yeah.
that was what really brought me through, I think, because it was I just didn't really give a crap eventually. It was just all like, oh, these people aren't that cool anyhow. So what am I even worried about, you
Can
know?
we tell your slipper story just to
Yeah,
leave them
let's
with
tell
a
the
funny
slipper story.
there's a funny
Okay.
story.
Okay. So, I mean, we grew up where my back to school shopping was at the thrift store. And so I was very decked out in a lot of, big crazy polyester skirts and and fur jackets and
I mean, she had a cool meter really high. She always had this way of artistically, creatively designing herself and everything with the false eyelashes and her hairdo. And oh, it was full on.
it
Like
was
she
a time.
took, 2 hours to get ready to go to school every day.
Yes, I did. And so, but I used my shoes. I used to wear these fuzzy pink granny slippers, like
Used
that
to
grandma
slip
would
on
wear
the
before, the
slip-on ones.
slip-on ones, and those were my shoes. And there was this a super popular, like the popular girl, Lindsay, and she hated me because that was cool. And we were walking, I guess we were both late for a class or something, and I was walking ahead of her in the hallway, and I looked down and my slipper, I was like missing a slipper. Had this like big flowy green polyester skirt on, and I was like, yo, we need photos. I'll find you one. And I looked down, and I was missing a slipper, and I was like, oh no, I'm missing my slipper. And I looked behind me, and it was on the end of Lindsay's shoe
Of her boot.
of her boot. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, you got my slipper on your shoe. And she just like kicked it off and
She was
started
like,
screaming.
ew.
It turned into this whole thing. She got her boyfriend to like come and he wanted to fight me outside of school. It was like it layered, but it was, yeah, it was too
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
They didn't
Well,
like me.
the way you told the story too, when you came home,
Okay.
you were like, you're in the school, you can imagine, right? High school hallway where it was a big school, and there's like between classes, there's just like you only have your little lane to walk in, right? And so Crystal's shoes on her boot because it was like she took the next step and stepped right into the slipper. Anyway, it's a funny story, but it shows like, this energy of resilience to it doesn't matter. You're going to have an effect.
And there's
Us
always going to be
wacky,
those people.
beyond mystic, beyond woo people, we're having a much bigger effect on the world than we realize. And if we can own it and just be grateful that we are these people, yeah, we're weird and we stand out, and maybe people are uncomfortable or threatened by us, but they're also curious, right? They're also curious. And if we don't react like, they're treating us like you're a weirdo, I don't want anything to do with your weird slipper, it has cooties. It's like,
That's what she was thinking. Oh my God, your gross slipper has cooties on it. It totally did, right? Like it was like, who knew? It was who knows whose slippers those were?
no, it was a new slipper. Okay, we're gonna have an argument now. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's funny, right?
We're great.
Thanks, Ricky.
We're
it's
grateful.
just fun to share stories like that because it's relevant to what we're speaking about. We are the weirdos right now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to stay that way. And I look around the hallway now in the high school, if we could see this world as a high school right now, and I see there's a lot of us weirdos.
You know what? All the kids are dressing like I dressed back then. It's the cool thing now. They all got the big fat pants on,
Right.
and and the slippers and the like oversized hoodies.
That girl probably acts the same.
Yeah.
She's probably like, oh yeah, I've been doing this since high school. I used to walk down the hall with a slipper like this on.
Who knows?
Yeah. So it's been fun, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good to end on a laugh.
Yeah. I do consider myself normal. It's the rest of the world that's crazy.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, we are who we are, and that's who we came here to be.
Yep.
The best of ourselves.
Exactly.
And how we share that with the world, that is what matters. So you heard it here, folks.
Want to take us through the cards on our way out here, Crystal?
Bum, bum, bum. Yep, let's do it. Let's remove this and share this. Right. Hey, you can book consultations on the Beyond Mystic consultations page with Mom and I.
Crystal's got half hours up there. People, check that out.
Those spots are filling up. It's so great to see. And
look at this. Just in time for getting ready. It's hard to believe. It's how many weeks we're heading in that direction already? You know what? But I want my house to smell like this. Like, just look at that. Like I would buy these.
Brings you this like,
yeah, I would buy these soaps to have them in wherever, in my room, in the bathroom, obviously, but just to have that scent in your home looks so beautiful.
It really does. It really does. And again, tuning in with that survey, we're looking so forward to seeing the
results of this. We really are. We got together as a team, put together all these ideas of different topics that you might want for us to explore more, and you get to have a say in, to some extent, helping to direct where this all goes.
Love your readings. Thank you for bringing such great topics. One thing though, if you would speak up when reading comments and questions.
All right, will do.
Absolutely.
Will do.
It's such a funny thing to juggle being in talking mode and channel mode and questions mode. It's
definitely is. And I guess we need to check this new mic too. We didn't have time to check it on the way in. There was a problem with the the platform link basically. So anyway, we're here.
We didn't bring the schedule up, and we have a question. Is there going to be a quick draw Thursday with Janine? Okay. You can go on to beyondmystic.net and check out the schedule there, and that will tell you. Our apologies. We usually have that brought up.
So Have a
That's
beautiful
us for today.
week. Actually, I'll be here. I know that I'm going to be here tomorrow morning. Well, it's morning my time, with Penny Kelly and doing Intuition Fridays. And then, of course, my forecast on Saturday. So we'll see you then.
Ciao for now, everyone.
Mhm.